you in style someday. You dream maker, you heartbreaker, wherever you're going, I'm going your way. To drifters off to see the world, there's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows, and it's waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, moon, river, and me. Off to see the world, there's such a lot of world to see. We're after the same rainbows, and it's waiting round the bend. My huckleberry friend, river, and me.
Honestly, I just didn't know that Moon River was such a cool tune until fellow YouTuber Jimmy requested a video tutorial of it. Jimmy, thanks so much for the request. I really appreciate it. You know, the music was originally composed by Henry Mancini and the lyrics by Johnny Mercer, which is a great combo, for the movie Breakfast at Tiffany's in 1961 that starred Audrey Hepburn. And because Audrey's vocal range was somewhat limited, you know, Henry wrote the song over 9 notes, an octave plus 1. And what's fascinating is in just 58 words, Johnny Mercer is able to create a lot of images and potential meanings for the song. It's really cool. Anyway, I'm really glad this song was requested because now it's in my repertoire, and hopefully this tutorial will help it to be in yours as well. So let's get to it. Okay, let's learn how to play Moon River in the style of James Taylor. Now, the album, if I'm not mistaken, James plays it in B flat, so unless he tuned his guitar differently, he has a capo on the 1st fret. And I've seen a video of him where he sang it and played it in B, so he had a capo on the 2nd fret. And then in the tutorial, and then in the performance that I gave, I played it with a capo on the 3rd fret in the key of C. So I'm going to show you without any capo at all what the chords are, at least I think they are, in the style of James Taylor. And you just put a capo wherever you like if you're going to sing the song so that it fits your particular vocal range. So you would use the key of A. And you start off with an A chord. Now the only specific picking technique or pattern that you need to work on is just in the intro. where James alternates between really an E minor 7 and an A major, except for he uses an A major and does an extension on the E minor 7 to form this chord. This is an E minor 9. And I decided after listening to him that I would use a specific picking pattern and alternate between two picking patterns actually. So the way I do it is I play my thumb on the bass, so the A, and then these three fingers taking the middle four, or middle three strings, 4, 3, and 2 for this A. Go 5, 4, and then 3, 2 at the same time. Switch my middle finger to where my my first finger is, and slide. And I'm forming that chord, that E minor 9. But the initial picking I'm doing is so I hit the bass and the third string at the same time, and then go to the fourth string and alternate third string, fourth string. That's the first little riff that I use. Whether it's exactly what he uses or not, I think is really not all that important, because he uses something like that in the riff. And I'm guessing that he changes it up in live performances. So then you can just go right back to that fourth string. Okay, so that's what I used in the performance. And then the second time you do it, and then I pluck the first and second strings together back to that fourth string and alternate between the two. Okay. Try that again. And there you go. So that essentially is how the song is introduced. Then the rest are just basically going to be chords and how to form them. And then I'm going to give you substitute chords if the chords that I'm showing you are difficult. There are some substitutions you can use. It'll just sound almost as good. So here we go. The first is an A major 7. Sometimes you can take off this C sharp and make it an A major 7 sus2. Either one works. Then you want to go to an F sharp minor 7. And you might see me, this is the standard form, this bar chord. But you might see me sometimes doing this, where you actually form an A with your middle ring and little finger, and with your thumb or your first finger, press on the F sharp. Don't play the fifth string, and leave the E open. It's still an F sharp minor 7, but now you've got this open sound. I like to do that a lot. But either one works. I think they just do a standard F sharp minor 7 to a D major 7, and back to the A major 7 or A major 7 sus2. D major 7. I'm crossing you in. Now here's where it changes. It goes to a C sharp minor 7 style, and then to an F sharp minor 7 again. When you say the word day, now it gets to a little bit tougher chord. This is a G sharp minor 7, but flat the 5. So this is how you'd play it. And I would highly recommend playing it like that. So it's like forming an A minor if you're used to doing that. Moving it up 2 frets and putting your thumb on the G sharp. If you want to add this F sharp down here, you could. But this is good enough. Just play the 6th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. And then the reason I do this form a lot is I leave my ring finger as an anchor and slide everything else down a fret. And that takes us to the G7 flat 5. So it's like a G7, but here's the 5th flatted. So this then. Really cool combination, right? Back to the F sharp minor. And then you can go to an A7. That sounds great. But I make it an A9. I think this is what James uses. Isn't that a cool sounding chord? To a D major 7. Heartbreaker. And then I go to a G9. Now you can add this F up here too. Make it a little bit more full. Or you can take, if you put the F up here on the 4th string, you can take your F off here and make it an E, and that adds the 13, so you get this sound. That's pretty cool too. Now I use this form in the performance, but that's a pretty cool sound. I might use that in future performances. Take your pick. There's 3 options you can use here. Then F sharp minor, or. Now here's where it actually gets tough as far as forming a chord. It goes up to a D sharp minor 7 flat 5, which is also, by the way, a half diminished. Any minor 7 flat 5 is a half diminished, but saying it that way, minor 7 flat 5, makes you think what notes are happening. You got a flat 3, that gets you minor, flat 7, that gets you a minor 7, and then a flat 5 is in the chord, minor 7, flat 5. So that's the chord, and you could easily play it, actually pretty easily, by going like this. But if you listen to the album, this note's in there. So that's the flat 5. And that's because in parts of the song, that note is actually being sung. So the way to do that is to put your thumb as the bass, so you can get all 5 notes. That's a little difficult, but if you want the full chord, that's it. And that goes right to a G sharp 7. And then the next 4 chords, I'm just going to show you real quickly. This is the easy way to play it, would be a C sharp minor 7 to an F sharp 7, B minor 7 to an E7. It's just a couple of 2 5s. But I played it a little differently with a couple of minor 7 chord substitutions. They're still minor 7s. It sounds different because you have sort of open strings. So after I do this, here's the chord. It's a different sound then. And it's really just these top 5, not the 6th string. But I'm barring it to get it's easier to do it this way than have my bar down here. Then F sharp 7. Okay, there's the E minor 7 to this. It's just, B minor 7 to E7. It's just a different way to form those chords, and it just sounds, it's a different character. I like it, but it's much harder to do. So if you're used to bar chords, you can do this. Okay, and then go back to the A major 7. We're now on 2 drifters. 2 F sharp minor 7 drifters. So this is all the same. D major 7. Off to see the world. So this is A major 7. Back to the D major 7. And we're going through the same chords again. sharp minor 7. We're after, and then you do it at A9 again. Now back up to the D sharp minor 7 to flat 5. And then really you're just taking your thumb and moving it down here, except for I don't use the thumb anymore. I just bar it to a D major 7. It's the only difference between those chords is the root. Round the bend. So C sharp minor 7. Alternate between a C sharp minor 7 and a D major 7. I've watched James play this. He'll go down to this D major 7. But I stay up here because it's a short distance. It's waiting round the bend, my huckleberry friend. And then when you say Moon River, you go to the F sharp minor 7, to the B minor 7, and then E7, and B, A. And that's the song. Now, in his version and in my performance, there is a key change. And I just did the key change that they do, where you switch it a step and a half higher. You go from A to C, in this case, without the capo. So I'll show you how I did that. So after you've done this lick, right? Then I go to an F over G and G7 for movement to the C major 7. And then A minor 7 would be the next logical chord, but I thought I'd make it cooler by doing A minor 9. Then to F major 7, but I take off, so you sort of have an F major 7 sus2 here. Back to the C major 7, or C major 7 sus2, you can do that. Back to the F major 7 sus2, E minor 7, A minor 7, B minor 7 flat 5. There's that character again. And I just emphasize the middle 4, so you don't have to put your finger here and do that. You can if you want to. And then it goes to an E7, and I think they go to an E7, but I add a sharp 5 or a flat 6. So this chord, for just a brief moment, to the E7. So that type of thing. A minor 7, walk up to a C7, but I play a C9 instead. To a G major 7 or G major 7 sus2. Now, the chord is a B flat or an A sharp 7. But to me that sounds a little pedestrian, so I did a B flat 9 like this. Do it like this, and added, I think that's a 13. So like an A sharp 9, add 13, or something along that line. Now that is a hard chord to form quickly. Now when I had the capo up here, the frets are closer. It was easier for me to do it like this. But that's hard with the frets so wide apart. So this would probably be the way to form it if you use this chord. If not, just do a B flat or A sharp 7, B flat 7, and harmonically the same. Okay, then back to the A minor 7, and then F sharp minor 7 flat 5 to B7. I don't play the F sharp, I just play the middle 4. E minor 7, A7. D minor 7, and then I take off the F to make it sort of a D7 sus2 for movement. E7 sus4 to E7. And we're right back to the song. Two drifters off to see the world. There's such a lot of world to see. do when I end it is those 4 patterns again, or 2 patterns alternating, and then I end on a add 9, which you can also do like this, or you can end on an A major 7, or A major 7 add sus2, or some type of chord, that's going to be sort of an A major 7 or 9 type of chord. And that's it. That is Moon River, more in the flavor of James Taylor. I hope it was helpful. I think this is a super cool song, and I'm really thankful that it was requested. Thank you for doing that. I appreciate that. Anyway, good luck with it. Get it under your fingers, add it to your repertoire. Come back next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.